Johanna.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little process video working in my daughter's baby album. So you may have seen my previous video where I just did a little update on where the album is at, and after I filmed that I finished up some of these pages. So all I'm doing in this video is adding some really simple embellishments and all of my journaling. So I mentioned in the previous video how I do this album bit by bit, and that's the best way for me to do it, just chipping away at it a little bit at a time. Otherwise it's really easy to get behind if you feel like you have to do an entire layout in one sitting. So that's why I do it in parts. So I lay out my photos, and then I tend to choose papers and cards, and then on a different day I'll pull out some embellishments, and then on a different day I might do some journaling. So in this sitting I managed to do all of my journaling and my embellishing, and I keep my embellishing really simple in this album and in all my Project Life albums that I've ever done. That's just because I feel like mostly the photos speak for themselves, and it just doesn't come very naturally to me to embellish on top of photos, but I do add a little bit here and there just to finish up those pages. So all I'm doing is adding some really simple things like stickers. I added a label to one of those photos. That's a label that I made myself. I've got a DIY embellishment video as well up on my channel if you want to see how I did that. It's really easy. And I also just added a couple of overlays on two of those photos. So one of them has a pretty little circular frame, and then the other one says memories. And then you see me just stapling down our name tags from the hospital, our little hospital bracelets. And I just do that with my stapler, just my regular stapler, and just keep it super simple. And I attached the little safety pin from her nappy with some glue. This is actually metal glue. It's the E6000 glue, or E600. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but that's the glue that I used. It's actually a metal glue, and it's probably not the best thing I could use, but it was the best thing that I had on hand, the strongest thing. So that's what I used for that. Adding a few extra pieces to that page, and that's all that I do. Kept it really simple. So my process for Project Life is probably quite different to my process in junk journaling. Like I said, I keep it really simple, whereas in my junk journal I tend to add, and my pages look really busy. When I'm embellishing Project Life pocket pages, like I said, it doesn't come as naturally to me just to embellish on top of the photos, so I usually keep the photos really plain and don't add too much. For this spread I'm just adding some washi tape, a couple of little stickers. Those floral stickers are from the Reject Shop here in Australia. And what else did I add? I've got a couple of vintage linens that I use in this process, so that's one of them up there in the top left. That's what I use for my title. And then that little picture of the baby in the bath, I actually cut that out of another journaling card that I had that said first bath, but it was a very pink card, and it was also horizontal, so I cut out the little picture so that I could put it on the vertical 3x4 card instead of a horizontal one. So I put that floral sticker on top of one of those cards just as like a filler card, and then added a couple of extra little pieces like enamel dots and that little brad that said love. So comment down below, what are your favourite embellishments to use in scrapbooking? I know scrapbooking is a little bit different to junk journaling, so what are your favourite embellishments to use? I don't have tons of scrapbooking style embellishments in my stash because I don't do this type of memory keeping that often. I've done it for each of my children's first year albums, and I've also done I did one in 2016. It's almost finished. It's not quite finished either, and I just did it by the month. instead of by the week, because that was more doable for me at that time. But yeah, I've always kept my embellishing in these type of albums very, very simple, as you can see. Just a few little touches here and there to make it look more finished and just try and tie it all together a little bit, but I really don't add that much. I chose that washi tape and just repeated it on a couple of photos because I felt like it matched some of those cards and it matched the pink cards that I'd chosen. And then I had this little piece that had vintage buttons sewn on it, and I just used some glue to glue that on as an embellishment because I thought that looked quite cute. And it had like a blue background that complemented those photos up the top where Ren is holding baby Roo for the first time. So I skipped the page on the back of that, which was the photos my sister took for us, and later on I just add some stitching, like a stitched border, to embellish those photos. I didn't really want to embellish them. And then this layout was pretty much done, except I needed to add my title, which I typed out on my computer and printed out, and I spoke about that in my previous video as well, where I did the update. And I printed it on vellum, and that's something that will repeat every month for that spread. And then moving on to the last little layouts. This was like a Christmassy layout, but then I had beside it all the other photos left over from her first month, and so I'm just kind of working out where things are going to go. This is another linen that's from my Etsy shop. It's in a Christmas pack, and I wanted to make this first project life pocket page a little bit Christmassy, but not too Christmassy, because I wanted it to match that 12 by 12 spread beside it, but I also didn't want it to be completely Christmassy because not all those photos were taken on Christmas Day. If you want to know more about how I have this album organized, how I've laid everything out, and how I'm approaching it, you can see the rest of the videos in this playlist. So add a couple of stickers, some little label stickers and word stickers, and then this is my little tiny word sticker sheet that I made myself. Again, if you check out the previous videos in this playlist, there's a DIY embellishment video, and I shared a little printable for those tiny word stickers, which I printed out on sticker paper. And then I also made these little glittered hearts. I just punched them out of glitter paper. Again, super simple DIY embellishment. And then this is the last spread that I did. It's what I'm up to. After this, I'll be doing month 2 spreads, and that'll be at the end of January. Probably it'll be in February after we move, but this is what I'm up to. So I am pretty much up to date, and so I'm just adhering my photos down. I had a couple of 3x4 photos that I needed to stick down onto 4x6 cards, and then my video actually cut, so I've just got a clip here at the end of the pages finished, and you can see I've added my journaling. I've also added some stitching just to finish up those pages, and I did a lot of stitchy borders and some little random zigzag stitches on some of those pages. So just giving you a little overview of how they look finished with the little messy stitching, and I added a few little pieces here and there. So I added stitched borders around every photo on that layout of my professional photos that my sister took. I just felt like that was a really easy and simple way to add something without taking away from those photos. So just stitch borders. I really like how it adds extra texture to the scrapbook. So I'm really pleased with how this is coming along. If you have a favourite page, also let me know in the comments below and let me know why it's your favourite page. So those are the pages all finished. I may or may not add more to them later. I probably won't. I'm pretty happy to call those finished at the stage they're at now. I'm happy with how this is coming along, and keeping it simple like this helps make it a doable project for me. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't anything too exciting, but I just wanted to give you an update on how I'm going about this and how I embellish very, very simply. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.